Welcome to this MindMapper tutorial from Biggerplate.com. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to add, format, and remove relation lines in MindMapper to visually highlight connections between topics or branches within your mind map. So let's take a look. Okay, so here we can see an example mind map, a project organizer mind map where the user has put in their daily task information, some project information, and then some relevant files that they want to keep easily to hand. Now let's say we want to make a connection between project 2 and this government folder down here, really visual and clear within the mind map. We can use the relation feature, which you can find up in the home section of the main menu. If you come across here and hit relation, you notice our cursor has just changed a little bit. So what we can now do is select the project, let's say project 2, and then the second topic that we want to connect it to, which is, for example, this government folder. Now you see the line appears instantly up there, and you'll see a little blinking cursor here. That means we can also label this connection to give it a little bit of explanation as to why we might have added it. Now at the moment you'll see this line cuts across some topics and is maybe a little bit messy, so what we can then do is actually click on the line itself, and you'll notice this menu up here has now changed to give us lots of different formatting options with regards to the relation line that we have added. Before I start doing any formatting though in that line, what I'm just going to do is just shape it a little bit more. So if I click the line, you'll notice these very small red and yellow control points here. Now the red ones determine where the connection sits on the topic. So for example, if I pull that across here, you'll see it's just going to drag it down to the sort of the bottom corner. Similarly, if I drag down here and look for that same red control point, I could, for example, if I wanted to, connect it to the front of that topic, or even if I wanted to move it to another topic entirely, to actually relocate the connection. What I can then do is use those yellow control points if I want to actually start to manipulate the shape of the relation line itself. So pulling it around and down however I want to make that look how I so choose. Once we've got our line shape the way we want, we can start to use some of those other formatting options. We've got choices here in actually using more squared or rounded rectangle type shapes for the line itself, but I'm going to stick with that sort of curved shape that I quite like for these kind of lines. And what I want to do now is actually just use the coloring and the thickness and the pattern to really make this look how I wish. So if, for example, this is perhaps a negative or a risk connection, something that maybe influence each other negative, I might choose to make that line this red color so it kind of stands out as a bit of a warning sign. I might, in the context of my mind map, want to make it a bit thicker as well, so it stands out a little bit more. And I want to highlight that there's a two-directional sort of cause and effect here, rather than just one direction. So I'm actually going to change the arrowheads to point both ways. Now you see all of these changes take shape here in the mind map as I make those changes, and I might decide actually maybe that's a little bit too solid, so I'm just going to soften it slightly by making it into a dotted relation line. And there you have it, quick and easy to add and format relation lines between topics within your mind map. To remove the relation line, simply click it and hit the delete key on your keyboard. Really nice way of visually highlighting connections between topics or branches in the mind map where they're not necessarily in the same area of the mind map, but where you want to give yourself a really clear visual signal that there is an important connection between these pieces of information. That's it for this tutorial, but as always, for more resources to help you go further with MindMapper, visit Biggerplate.com.